Cats and the afterlife. What happens to their spirit? Have you ever looked into your cat's eyes and felt something you couldn't quite explain? A recognition, a knowing. As if behind those luminous eyes existed an ancient soul that chose you long before you ever met. Today, we're going to explore something profound. What happens to that sacred connection when your cat crosses into the afterlife? And I'll tell you this right now, the bond you share may be far more eternal than you ever imagined. If you enjoy meaningful stories and spiritual insights about cats, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The silent ways. Cats choose their humans. There's a moment that every cat lover remembers. The exact instant when everything changed. Maybe it was at a shelter where dozens of cats barely glanced your way, but one walked directly to you, pressed their head against the cage, and held your gaze. Maybe it was a stray who appeared on your doorstep during the hardest week of your life. Or perhaps it was the kitten in a litter who ignored everyone else and climbed straight into your lap, purring as if coming home. These aren't coincidences. Not really. Sarah, a teacher from Oregon, told me about the day she met Luna. She had gone to the shelter with no intention of adopting. She was grieving her mother, drowning in a sadness so heavy she could barely function. But there was Luna, a small gray cat with white paws, sitting perfectly still in the corner of her kennel, staring directly at Sarah. When their eyes met, Sarah said she felt something shift inside her chest. It was like she saw through me, Sarah explained, like she knew exactly what I was carrying, and she was saying, I can help you hold it. Luna came home that day, and for the next 12 years, she was more than a pet. She was a presence, a comfort, a soul companion. What Sarah experienced isn't unique, it's universal. Across cultures, across centuries, people have recognized that cats operate on a different frequency than the rest of the world. They perceive things we cannot see. They understand things we struggle to articulate. And somehow, mysteriously, beautifully, they find us when we need them most. In ancient Egypt, cats were revered as guardians between worlds. They weren't worshipped simply because they protected grain stores from rodents. No, the Egyptians believed cats could walk between the physical realm and the spiritual one. They were considered sacred bridges, divine messengers with the ability to see into dimensions hidden from human eyes. The goddess Bastet, depicted with the head of a cat, represented protection, joy, and the home, but also secrets, intuition, and the mysteries beyond death. This wasn't isolated belief. In Celtic mythology, cats were associated with the otherworld, a realm where spirits, fairies, and ancestors dwelled. The Japanese welcomed the maneki neko, the beckoning cat, as a spiritual guardian who brought good fortune and warded off negative energies. In Norse traditions, the goddess Freya traveled in a chariot pulled by two large cats, creatures connected to magic, fertility, and the unseen forces of life. What binds all these traditions together? The understanding that cats are not merely animals. They are something more, something other, something deeply, inexplicably spiritual. And if you've ever lived with a cat, you know this in your bones. Think about the way your cat appears when you're crying, how they emerge from another room as if summoned by something you didn't say aloud, how they settle beside you or on you with a weight that feels intentional, healing. Their purr resonates at a frequency between 25 and 50 hertz, the exact range scientifically shown to promote bone healing, reduce stress, and lower blood pressure. But beyond the science, there's something else happening. Something you feel but cannot measure. It's as if they absorb your pain, as if they transform your sorrow into something softer, something bearable. Rebecca, a hospice nurse from Dublin, shared a story that still moves me. During the pandemic, she worked with a dying patient named Thomas, a man with no family, no visitors. He was alone. One evening, a stray orange cat slipped into the hospice through an open door and walked straight into Thomas's room. The cat curled up beside him on the bed and stayed there for 3 days, until Thomas passed peacefully in his sleep. The cat then stood, walked to the door, and disappeared. No one ever saw him again. The nurses called him an angel. Thomas's last words were, "I'm not alone anymore." How do we explain that? We can try to rationalize it. We can say the cat was seeking warmth. But those who were there, those who witnessed it, know it was something else. It was purpose. It was presence. It was a soul showing up exactly when needed. Your cat knows you. Not the version of you that you show the world, but the real you, the vulnerable you, the you that wakes at 3 a.m. with anxiety clawing at your chest, the you that feels unseen, unheard, misunderstood. Your cat sees that person and loves them completely. This is why the bond feels different, deeper, sacred. When you look into your cat's eyes and feel that spark of recognition, you're not imagining it. You're experiencing something ancient, a soul-level connection that transcends language, logic, and time. I want you to pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Think about your cat or a cat you once loved. Remember the way they looked at you, the warmth of their body against yours, the sound of their purr vibrating through your chest like a lullaby meant only for you. Now ask yourself this: does a connection that profound, that real, that undeniable, simply end when the body stops breathing? Or is it possible that a bond formed between souls cannot be broken by something as temporary as death? Tell me in the comments. Have you ever felt your cat understood you on a level no one else could? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story. If the love you share with your cat feels eternal, perhaps it's because it is. The rainbow bridge and what lies beyond. There's a moment every cat lover dreads, the moment when you realize your time together is coming to an end. Maybe it's the way they stop jumping onto their favorite windowsill. Maybe it's the heaviness in their breathing, the distant look in their eyes. Or maybe it's the veterinarian's gentle voice saying the words you already knew were coming. And in that moment, alongside the unbearable grief, a question emerges. Quiet, desperate, aching. Where will they go? What happens to my cat's soul when their body can no longer carry it? Today, we're going to explore that crossing with tenderness and truth. And what I'm about to share may bring you more comfort than you ever imagined possible. The pain of losing a cat is real. It's deep. It's valid. If you've ever been told it was just a pet, you know how wrong that feels. Because it wasn't just anything. It was your companion, your confidant, the being who sat with you through every heartbreak, every lonely night, every moment when the world felt too heavy. Grief is not a sign of weakness. It's a measure of love. And the depth of your sorrow reflects the depth of the bond you shared. But here's what I want you to consider. What if that bond doesn't end? What if the crossing from this life to whatever comes next is not a separation, but a transformation? Cultures around the world, spiritual traditions spanning thousands of years, and countless personal experiences suggest something beautiful. That consciousness continues, that love endures, that the essence of who your cat was, their spirit, their energy, their soul, doesn't simply vanish into nothingness. Let me share what people have discovered about this sacred journey. You may have heard of the Rainbow Bridge. It's a concept that has brought comfort to millions of grieving pet owners, and its origin is both humble and profound. The poem first appeared in the 1980s, author unknown, shared from heart to heart among those who had lost their beloved animals. The Rainbow Bridge describes a meadow just beyond heaven, a place of endless sunshine, green grass, and flowing water. A place where animals who have passed away run free, healthy and whole again. They play together, sleep peacefully, and wait. Wait for the moment when they'll be reunited with the humans they loved. And when that day comes, when you cross the Rainbow Bridge yourself, your cat will be there. They'll recognize you instantly. They'll run to you, and you'll embrace them once more, and this time you'll never have to say goodbye. Now, whether you believe in the Rainbow Bridge as a literal place or as a beautiful metaphor, doesn't matter. What matters is why this vision resonates so deeply with so many people across different beliefs, different backgrounds, different parts of the world. It resonates because it speaks to something we know intuitively: that love doesn't die, that the beings we cherish don't simply cease to exist, that somewhere, somehow, the connection continues. But the Rainbow Bridge isn't the only perspective. Let's look at what other spiritual traditions teach about animals and the afterlife. In Buddhism, all sentient beings, including animals, are part of the cycle of rebirth. Cats, like all creatures, carry karma and consciousness. Many Buddhist teachers speak of animals being reborn into higher forms of existence, especially if they lived lives filled with love and connection. The compassion a cat shows, the comfort they provide, creates positive karma that shapes their journey forward. In Christian mysticism, particularly among saints like Francis of Assisi, there's a recognition that all of God's creatures have souls and a place in the divine order. Francis preached to animals, blessed them, and saw them as beloved parts of creation. Many Christians today find comfort in the belief that heaven includes all beings who brought love into the world, and that certainly includes the cats who blessed our lives. Indigenous spiritual traditions across North America view animals as sacred guides, teachers, and relatives. They are not lesser beings, but different expressions of the Great Spirit. When an animal passes, their spirit returns to the source, but the relationship continues. They become ancestors, guides, protectors, watching over those they loved. What's remarkable is the common thread: continuity, connection. The idea that death is not an ending, but a doorway. And then there are the experiences, thousands upon thousands of them, shared by ordinary people who felt their cat's presence after death. Michael from Toronto told me he woke up 3 nights in a row feeling the unmistakable weight of his cat, Oliver, on his chest. Oliver had passed away 2 weeks earlier. Michael felt the purring. He felt the warmth. And when he opened his eyes, there was nothing there. But the feeling remained, comforting and real. Jennifer from London heard her cat's distinct meow in the hallway every morning for a month after saying goodbye. Always at the same time, always the same sound. Her new kitten would stop and stare at the exact spot where the sound seemed to come from, ears alert, as if seeing something Jennifer couldn't. Are these hallucinations? Grief playing tricks on the mind? Perhaps. Science would suggest that our brains in mourning recreate familiar patterns to soothe our pain. And there's truth in that. But there's also this: energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. Every living being is made of energy. And if that's true, if the energy that animated your cat, that made them uniquely them, cannot simply disappear, then where does it go? What if those sounds, those sensations, those inexplicable moments of feeling their presence aren't your mind inventing comfort, but your heart recognizing what's still there? I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in what you felt. You're not imagining the bond. You're not foolish for wondering if they're still near. Millions of people across history, across faiths, across cultures have looked up at the stars and asked the same question: are you still there? And in the quiet that follows, in the butterfly that lands on their hand, in the dream that feels too vivid to dismiss, in the sudden warmth that wraps around them like an embrace, they've found their answer. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt a sign from a cat who passed away? A dream, a sensation, a moment that made you wonder? I read every single comment, and your story matters. If their body is gone, but your love remains, where does that love live now? Perhaps closer than you think. When love becomes protection. 3 months after losing her cat Jasper, Amanda adopted a small tabby kitten from a rescue shelter. She named him Finn. Finn was playful, curious, full of energy, everything a kitten should be. But there was something else, something Amanda couldn't quite explain. Finn had a habit that stopped her in her tracks. Every evening at 7 o'clock, he would sit in front of the fireplace, stare at the exact spot where Jasper used to sleep, and tilt his head, as if listening to something Amanda couldn't hear. Then he'd walk over, curl up in that spot, and purr. Jasper used to do the exact same thing, same time, same place, same ritual. Amanda told me, "I don't think it's coincidence. I think Jasper is still here, and I think Finn knows it." Today, we're going to talk about something both mysterious and comforting. The possibility that cats who have crossed over continue to watch over us, that they become guardians in the unseen, that the love they gave in life transforms into protection in death. And if you've ever felt a presence you couldn't explain, this chapter is for you. Let's start with the signs, the little moments that make you pause and wonder. You're sitting alone, grieving, and suddenly you catch movement in the corner of your eye, a shadow, a flicker. You turn, and there's nothing there, but your heart knows what it saw. You hear the soft jingle of a collar, the familiar sound of paws on hardwood, the creak of the cat door opening. But your cat is gone. The house is empty. Yet the sound was real. You're lying in bed, and you feel it, the unmistakable sensation of a cat walking across the blanket, settling near your feet, the warmth spreading through the covers. You reach down. Nothing. But the feeling remains. These experiences are more common than you might think. And while science would explain them as neurological echoes, our brains recreating familiar patterns in moments of grief, there's another way to understand them. What if they're not echoes? What if they're visits? Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, a biologist from Cambridge, spent years researching what he calls morphic fields, invisible connections between beings that transcend physical distance. His studies documented thousands of cases where animals demonstrated awareness of their owner's emotions, locations, and intentions without any physical cues. He found that dogs knew when their owners were coming home, even at random times. Cats would hide before vet appointments that hadn't been mentioned aloud. Horses would become agitated when their riders were in danger miles away. His conclusion? There's a field of connection between animals and humans that operates beyond the five senses. A bond that exists in the realm of energy, intention, and consciousness. Now, if that connection exists while they're alive, if love creates an energetic bridge between souls, why would that bridge collapse the moment the body stops breathing? What if it doesn't? What if it simply changes form? Spiritual practitioners, energy healers, and mediums around the world speak of animal spirits as guardians. Not in a religious sense, but in an energetic one. They describe cats who have passed as presences that remain close to their humans, especially during times of vulnerability, transition, or need. Maria, a grief counselor from São Paulo, shared something profound with me. She said that in her 20 years of practice, she's heard countless stories of people experiencing the presence of their deceased pets during moments of crisis. A woman who felt her cat's energy seconds before avoiding a car accident. A man who smelled his cat's distinct scent right before making a life-changing decision that turned out to be exactly right. A teenager who heard her cat's meow during a panic attack, and it calmed her instantly. Maria doesn't claim to have all the answers, but she believes this: animals who loved us in life don't stop caring when they cross over. They continue their purpose. They continue to protect. They continue to comfort. And maybe that's what guardianship really is. Not physical intervention, but energetic presence. A whisper in the heart that says, "You're not alone. I'm still here. You're going to be okay." There's also the phenomenon of new pets carrying forward the energy of those who came before. You adopt a new cat, and they have quirks that remind you so deeply of your previous cat that it takes your breath away. They sleep in the same spot. They respond to the same words. They have the same strange habit of sitting on your shoulder or pawing at your face at dawn. Is this coincidence? Projection? Or is it possible that souls who loved us find ways to reach us again, sometimes even through another living being? I'm not saying your new cat is the reincarnation of your old one, but I am saying this: energy moves, love moves. And the universe has a way of bringing us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. Finn didn't replace Jasper, but perhaps Jasper's spirit guided Amanda to Finn. Perhaps the love she poured into Jasper created a vibration that called Finn into her life. Perhaps they're all connected in ways we don't fully understand yet. So how do you honor this connection? How do you keep the bond alive without clinging to grief? It doesn't require rituals or elaborate ceremonies. It's simpler than that. Talk to them, out loud or in your heart. Tell them about your day. Thank them for the comfort they gave you. Ask them for guidance when you need it. You don't have to believe they hear you in a literal sense, but the act of speaking to them keeps the love alive, keeps the memory warm. Create a small space in your home that honors them. A photo, a candle, their favorite toy, not as a shrine to sadness, but as a reminder of joy. A place where you can sit and feel close to them when you need to. And here's the most important part. If a new cat comes into your life, let them in. Loving again is not betrayal, it's legacy. Your previous cat taught you how to love deeply, and that love doesn't disappear. It expands. Every cat you welcome into your heart is honoring every cat who came before. Rebecca from Scotland told me something beautiful. She said, "After my cat Luna died, I was terrified to adopt again. I thought it would hurt too much to lose another one. But then I realized Luna didn't teach me to fear love. She taught me that love is worth it, even when it ends, even when it breaks your heart. So I adopted again, and I named her Hope. Because that's what Luna left me with." Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt your cat's presence after they passed? Or have you seen signs that made you believe they were still near? Share your story. I'll read everyone. If they're watching over you, if they're still protecting you in ways you can't always see, what does that mean about the purpose of your connection? Maybe it means your bond was never about possession. It was about transformation. And that transformation is eternal. The lessons that never die. We began this journey with a question. What happens to a cat's spirit after they cross into the afterlife? But now, as we arrive at the heart of this exploration, I want to ask you something different, something deeper. What if the real question isn't where they go, but why they came? What if every cat who has ever entered your life arrived with a purpose? A lesson written into their soul that only you were meant to receive? And what if that lesson doesn't end when they leave, but continues to unfold inside you for the rest of your life? Today, we're going to talk about the eternal purpose of cats. Not just what they meant to us, but what they came to teach us, and how those teachings become the bridge between this world and the next. Think about the way a cat lives, fully, presently, without apology. They don't worry about yesterday. They don't anxiously plan for tomorrow. When they're in a sunbeam, they are completely in that sunbeam. When they're resting, they rest without guilt. When they play with their whole being. And when they love without condition or expectation. This is their first lesson. Presence. In a world that constantly demands more productivity, more achievement, more noise, cats remind us that simply being is enough. That lying in the warmth of the sun is not laziness. That resting is not weakness. That stillness is not emptiness. Your cat never judged you for taking a nap. They joined you. They never shamed you for feeling sad. They sat with you. They never demanded that you be anything other than exactly who you are in that moment. And maybe, in a life that often feels like a race you can't win, that was the greatest gift they could give you. Permission to just be. The second lesson is even more profound. Unconditional love. Your cat didn't care how much money you made. They didn't care if you had a bad day at work or said something you regret. They didn't love you because you were perfect. They loved you because you were you. There's a purity in that love, a simplicity, no ulterior motives, no hidden agendas, just presence, affection, and acceptance. And here's what's remarkable. That kind of love changes us. It opens something inside us that we didn't know was closed. It teaches us that we are worthy of love not because of what we do, but because of who we are. David from Melbourne shared a story that still moves me. He said, "I spent most of my life feeling like I wasn't enough, not successful enough, not interesting enough, not lovable enough. But my cat Milo loved me on my worst days, when I was broke, when I was broken, when I hated myself. Milo would curl up on my chest and purr, and I'd think, if this little soul can love me like this, maybe I'm not as worthless as I thought." David told me Milo saved his life, not dramatically, not with some grand gesture, but quietly, consistently, by showing up every single day with love that asked for nothing in return. That's what cats do. They love us back to life. And then there's the third lesson, the hardest one: impermanence. Everything ends. Every season changes. Every life completes its cycle. And as much as we wish we could freeze time, hold on to the ones we love forever, keep them safe in our arms eternally, we can't. Cats live shorter lives than we do. And that means, most of the time, we have to say goodbye. We have to watch them age. We have to make impossible decisions. We have to feel the searing pain of loss. But here's the truth hidden inside that pain. Grief is love with nowhere to go. You grieve because you loved. And the depth of your grief is the measure of the depth of your love. Your cat taught you how to love something so deeply that losing it breaks you open. And in that breaking, something shifts. You realize that love isn't about keeping. It's about giving. It's about being changed by the presence of another soul, even when that presence is temporary. The Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron says that impermanence is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Because when we truly accept that nothing lasts forever, we learn to cherish what we have while we have it. We stop taking moments for granted. We stop waiting for the perfect time to be present. We realize that now is all we ever have. Your cat knew this instinctively. They didn't waste time worrying about the future. They loved you now. They purred now. They curled up beside you now. And maybe that's the gift hidden inside the goodbye. The reminder to live fully, to love deeply, to be present while there's still time. But there's one more lesson, the most important one, the lesson of eternal connection. You see, when you love someone, truly love them, they become part of you. Not in a poetic, abstract way, but in a real, tangible way. They shape how you see the world. They influence how you move through it. They leave imprints on your soul that never fade. Every time you stop to appreciate a quiet moment, you're honoring your cat. Every time you offer affection without expecting anything in return, you're carrying forward what they taught you. Every time you love another being, human or animal, with a little more openness, a little more tenderness, you're keeping their spirit alive. Because that's what spirit really is. Not a ghost, not a floating apparition, but the essence of who someone was, living on in the way they changed you. Your cat's spirit isn't somewhere far away. It's in you, in the softness they brought out, in the patience they taught you, in the capacity to love you didn't know you had until they showed you. Emma from London told me something I'll never forget. She said, "When my cat Oliver died, I thought I'd lost him forever. But then I started noticing all the ways he's still with me. I'm kinder to myself because he was kind to me. I rest without guilt because he taught me rest was sacred. I love my new cat Willow with an open heart because Oliver showed me that love is always worth the risk." Emma said, "Oliver didn't leave. He just moved from beside me to inside me, and that's where he'll stay forever." So let me ask you one final question. If your cat came into your life to teach you something, to open your heart, to heal something broken, to show you a kind of love you'd never known, did they fail when they died? Or did they succeed? Because the love is still here. The lessons are still here. The way they changed you is still here. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe cats don't stay forever in body because they're not meant to. They're meant to touch our lives, transform us, and then move on, leaving us more whole, more loving, more awake than we were before. And if that's true, then death isn't the end of the bond. It's the completion of the purpose. I want to thank you for being here, for opening your heart to this conversation, for trusting me with your grief, your memories, your love. If this video brought you comfort, if it helped you see your cat, or the loss of your cat, in a new light, I'd be honored if you subscribe to this channel. There are more stories like this, more reflections, more reminders that love never truly ends. And please, leave a comment. Tell me about your cat. Tell me what they taught you. Tell me how they changed your life. I read every single one, and your story matters. The next time you feel a warmth you can't explain, a presence in the room when you're alone, a sudden memory that brings tears and smiles at the same time, don't dismiss it. Maybe it's your cat, still watching over you, still loving you, still reminding you that the bond you shared was never just physical, it was eternal.